Guys, welcome back to the Reality Sanctum podcast, and I am your host, Mr. J-O-Y. I'm a content creator that specializes in the Fortnite storyline and lore, and I am, of course, your host. Now, we've got a few special guests, and we got, indeed, our co-host, let's see him introduce himself.
Hey, it's me. Let's see again. I was from last place. I was that funny guy who did the Morty impression.
Sound. We're going to close doors. Wind. And introducing our guest today. Our guest, a Twitch streamer, a zero build pro, actually, in fact. And yes, so Mr. didnt.
Please don't boo me.
Hey.
I'm from the purple brand. Please don't boo me. Don't boo me. Don't boo me.
Do you want to add anything to that, Dean?
No, I think you've covered it all. Thank you very much for inviting me this evening. I think it's a long time coming that I've done something with you on the red brand, Mr. J.
Red brand, yeah. Well, it's been a while since we've actually played. I can't actually remember. I think it would have been the season before last. I don't want to say that, but I feel like it is.
I believe it was the end of Chapter 2 event that you and I got together for the live event. I think that's the last time that we got together.
No, we've definitely played. No, there's no way.
Yeah. It was the Cube Queen, if you remember.
Yeah, I remember that. But I'm sure we've played since then. There's no way we haven't played since then.
I don't believe we have. I think that's the last time. Because I mean, we'll talk about Fortnite in a bit, won't we? But obviously, in terms of events and stuff, there hasn't been that many. Like in Chapter 3.
I mean, we had a collider, I guess. But yeah, season 3 had a little bit of a break with storyline, and obviously, people saying there's issues this season, but that is what it is. Yeah, I've known Dean for a while. Today, what was it? Today I resubbed for 34 months.
34 months.
34 months.
Tier 1. Yeah, it's been a little bit over that. I think I've known you now for. It's over 3 years now. We obviously got together through mutual acquaintances, and
yes.
Ever since, I think you and I have just withstood the test of time, because quite a lot of people come and go, don't they, during the Twitch scene and Fortnite scene.
It's very hard to not stay relevant. That's the wrong thing, but keep or stay relevant. I guess keep rebranded and stuff. I'll get into that later as well. But yeah, 34 months. I've been actually that is broken. I hate how it's broken. It's 33 months. I don't know what happened.
We'll call it 34. It's nice to have a nice even number.
It is, but I don't know what happened. I'm pretty sure when I've been subscribed, I've just been subscribed. Unless there was an issue with Twitch 1 month and didn't resubscribe or something. That's a bit of a rip. But yeah, 34 months I've been subscribed to Mr. Genie. We talked about this in last podcast, but just your thoughts on Fortnitemares, Dean, because it was quite a hot topic. What were your thoughts on Fortnitemares?
I think it was underwhelming. I think I used that word. I think we exchanged a couple of tweets, didn't we? I normally, like, when you come to that time of year, whether it's like, you've got the summer, you've got they do like extra challenges and all that kind of stuff. It's something to look forward to, and it's fresh, and it draws people in. I think with the Fortnitemares, where, if you remember, the Storm King Chapter 2 Season 1, that was actually different, and people were interested by it. You get a new bit, I don't know what it is with Fortnite players, but they're obsessed with gliders, like the umbrellas, the Victory Royale umbrellas.
Oh, that's a shout.
So you got the umbrella for completing that LTM, which is I thought that was different. Then they kind of ripped off Warzone, didn't they? Where if you got eliminated, you came back as a ghost. So they did that. That was different.
But that was good.
I really like that.
Yeah, I feel like it's a bit underwhelming. All they did was, this is Shifty Shafts. Let's put a house in there. Let's get zombies that we've used and regen and jump out of bins. They've already done that. Pumpkin launchers, they've already done that. I think they've run out of ideas, I think, for Fortnite.
I was disappointed.
I think that...
Oh, go ahead.
You just reminded me of something. They were teasing a Stranger Things collab that entire time, and we never got any.
I think they play on it sometimes. I honestly think they play on it sometimes. I think they know what's happening, how the community's chatting, and sometimes I do think they play on things. But the thing about we did have Hord Rush. I think they're scared to implement stuff like that in game at the moment. I don't know
think
why.
they're too scared.
Mm.
They're trying to cater to like the more competitive audience.
I mean, again, you can just have it in public playlists, but obviously the shadows. I mean, that kind of looking back, it was good, but I mean, remember at the time it was very indifferent. So maybe they're scared to like introduce that and have it as a separate mode. That Hord Rush actually, even though it's not Fortnitemares, it's still a playable game mode. So maybe that's a thing. But yeah, I was disappointed. There was a hotfix update. So we had the Fortnitemares update, and we did a show, and then we had the hotfix, and we expected maybe the brooms, helicopters was meant not helicopters, sorry, planes were meant to come back. They're still not back apparently, but the hotfix brought us very very little. So yeah, Fortnitemares generally before the hotfix, it was like a 7 out of 10 promising, or maybe even a 6 out of 10. But unfortunately, I guess it didn't. It sort of lost momentum after that hotfix. So for me, probably a 6 out of 10.
I think you've touched on something with the Hord Rush and them being nervous about maybe putting it into the game. Let's not forget that Fortnite are the most like hypercritical fan base going. So
yeah,
what you find with the Fortnite fan base in terms of casuals and competitive, I don't think we should single out competitive here for a second, but they don't like change. They are like when we had the Spaz shotgun, we had the Scar, like everyone loved that. That was the go-to. That was always the meta in any single season that you did. You took 1 or 2 of them away, and it would cause a humongous stink. People would just be like, I cannot believe they bolted the pump shotgun. I can't believe it. What is this trash shotgun? What is this prime shotgun? What is this? Like, I think they could be afraid to pull the trigger because, too much change would drive the core audience away. It would bring a new audience, but you've got to bear in mind, myself, I've played this game since Chapter 1, Season 3. Like, if you're driving those people away, like, are you going to keep, like, if someone new to Fortnite comes in, are you going to maintain that interest and intrigue, like, for the next year, 2 years, 3 years to come?
Of course,
it's tough.
People do naturally move on. People do. That's a way of life. But yeah, you touched on it there that they're just scared to introduce stuff. I think they shouldn't be scared in terms of just introducing like fun items and fun mini games actually into Battle Royale, because that's when people talk about it most. If it's a separate game mode, obviously there's a chance that people. I haven't played Hord Rash, yes, if I'm being honest. But if it's in game and I have to sort of equip with it, I might go, oh, this is a little bit annoying. But then most of the time, I end up actually enjoying it. So yeah, that's a bit disappointing. What do you rate Fortnitemares out of 10, Dean? If you,
I'm going to be honest with you. If the past few weeks, I've not. I played a game. You know what I do. I stream it. I host tournaments and stuff. But I haven't played it much in terms of like sat down, wanted to play zero build solos or build solos. It just didn't drive me. The update didn't drive me to want to play it. I find those kind of updates a little bit messy. I do like map changes. I'm open to like new items being added into the game, but when they're recycling the same thing, that for me draws that score low. So I'm going to say probably a 4 out of 10.
Fair enough.
I wasn't a big fan of the update.
I genuinely don't understand. Like, I understand the pump and the Scar is good, but the need and want that it should be in the game, full stop, which some people are talking about, is ridiculous. It shouldn't just be in the game completely full stop. We shouldn't have any guns that are like, oh, this needs to be here. Like building. Oh, building needs to be here all the time. Before zero builds, that was probably the conversation that most people would have had. But then, went, okay, we take building away, and people enjoyed it. So we do need an ever-changing loot pool. We can't have it where we just have to Scar and pump.
I agree. I agree totally. I mean, like I said, I'm open to them changing the map and changing the dynamic of the map. I'm open to them completely making an overhaul on the loot, but they don't seem to get it right first time, and I think that's what does drive people away. So, for example, we go into Chapter 3, they've got rid of the Scar, they've got rid of the literally the OG AR that was in every
they
single
got rid
season.
of every single
They got
thing.
rid of everything.
Yes.
And I was like really excited about that. But then after 2 or 3 days, where people who are actually mechanically gifted at the game, that are experienced at the game, discover that you don't need to use a shotgun anymore. Just use a Stinger SMG, and they've got a loadout of 3 or 4 Stinger SMGs and win every single game. That's a problem because people will get. I always say as well, if you're introducing items in the game that are destroying the unique selling point of Fortnite, which is the building mechanic. So that is from the mech, that is from Stinger SMGs, Goo Gun. If you're adding items like that, they become the meta. And to me, like that just does not appeal to me in the slightest.
Yes, it. You good? You're breaking up.
Hello?
Hello, you good? You good? I think you're back.
All right. I think the competitive scene hates changed so much is that, like, whenever Chapter 3 Season 1 first came out, there was, like, people who can make whole videos about, oh, the pub came back due to a glitch or something like that.
Yeah. I think there is a comment for like things like that being content as well. Like the new Battle Royale map in creative, like the only content I see that is popping off are people glitching in because that creates topic and conversation. And oh my god, like I see people building like whole events, like they're taking the Chrome, copy and pasting it, and doing like their own sort of event in the middle of a map, which you're not meant to be doing at the moment. You're not meant to be able to edit that map, but they fixed it once and it's broken again. So I do understand things not being a game and you can create content about it. I don't find that too much of an issue, but I hear what you're saying. But what's your what you rating on Fortnitemares? After the hotfix, of course. I think you were a 7 out of 10, weren't you, before the hotfix?
Yeah, I was. It was mainly because I loved the claws so much.
Oh,
you saw me with the claws. I would pick them up every game.
Yes. Honestly, deadly.
In my hands, at least.
So what are you saying?
I knew how to use them.
Are you still saying the 7 out of 10, or are you changing that?
Yeah, 7 out of 10. Claws carry it.
Okay, cool. Claws carry it. That is fair enough. Well, obviously, of course, we did have an update. We had 2230.
Ooh, I can't wait to talk about this. I got some words.
Okay, we might have you go first. Obviously, it brought in massive Star Wars collab again. Honestly, people joke about Marvel. Honestly, people might be joking about Star Wars now being like a constant sort of thing we sort of have in game at the moment. But we got E11 blasters back, lightsabers, new junk rifts. I guess it's the same apart from the actual items in the thing. So lit. Do you wanna start off on this?
Of course. This update's had me really disappointed. Like, just, I get it. Star Wars, really recognizable IP. A lot of people love it, but since we've had like lightsabers and E11 blasters for literally 3 seasons in a row now, I can't get behind it anymore. They haven't changed it out at all. They never decided to buff the lightsabers or E11 blasters at all, knowing they suck. So what's the point of bringing them in?
I don't know. I feel like I don't want to say it because I don't think it's the reason, but kind of the save the Fortnitemares. I guess we did that, and then maybe bringing something familiar. I don't know, but yeah, you're probably spot on with Star Wars. It needs to be something fresh. I don't know if you remember, but there was a Back to the Future tease from Don Mustard. He sort of had a GIF.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been very cool to have a new IP within Fortnite. I don't know if they're still working in it, but I guess the skins aren't bad. No, it's very cool to have Hans, like Leia, and
Fortnite.
Who else? I don't know. I can't remember.
Fortnite's got to be like a little bit more creative with these crossovers. I love the crossovers that can make up an entire updates where they have like their own item in the game and such. That's why I love the Dragon Ball update so much. But
that was new and fresh. So,
Star Wars gets so much of that, and like, believe me, I love Star Wars as much as the next guy. But it's just too much. If it's taking up an entire update from 5 updates that can only be in a single season, then like that's just too much. I get people say that we have a whole lot of Marvel collabs, but those are just skins that come into the item shop. They're barely ever updates.
Yes, we haven't had a Marvel season, of course, since season 4, and maybe I guess you could include Zero War in that if you really wanted to.
And I could actually get behind the Marvel season because the weapons in there were not just generic. That it was really fun and unique.
Yes, Wolverine's claws,
Everything,
all that stuff.
where everything we're seeing here in this update is stuff we saw back in Chapter 2, Season 1.
We had it last season. Darth Vader was on the map helping the storyline goes. He was helping the Imagined Order and stuff. So we had it the War season during Chapter 3, Season 2, and then we had it back end of another season. Do we have it Season 3 maybe? Or maybe not. But yeah, it's coming a seasonal thing.
And in terms of lightsabers, I think I worked out what made them good when they first ever came out. Because when lightsabers first came out back in Chapter 2, Season 1, those things were powerful. Like, you could basically never break the shield that they put up. And they would hit hard.
I don't know if Dean was.
I kind of want that back.
I don't know if Dean was involved in this clip. I had a 1v4 situation down at what was it? What was a tilted POI in Chapter 2? Completely missed my. Lazy Lake.
Not Lazy Lake. Lazy Lake.
Was it late? I had a 1v1 situation. I don't know if Bags was there, but I ended up like saving the team. It was very fun. I remember that.
I miss those lightsabers. Those were they were good. It also makes me miss like the Winterfest where Fortnite just went entirely deep into the water and just made the entire map snowy and like all foggy and stuff. Go crazy.
I mean, that's probably we can touch on the Fortnitemares thing and them not, going with the map. Dean, Star Wars.
They're too worried.
What are you making of that?
I think you probably already know my opinion on Star Wars. I mean, I'm not a fan of Star Wars, so anytime that there's a Star Wars update, it doesn't engage me at all because, when I was a kid, I went to watch Star Wars Phantom Menace.
What did you say about Star Wars?
And I fell asleep. And I've never attempted to watch Star Wars again.
Okay.
So whenever they put Star Wars into Fortnite, it doesn't appeal to me. And it goes on to my former statement when we talked about like Fortnitemares. And that is recycling content. We've already seen Darth Vader. We've already seen the Stormtroopers. We've already seen the lightsabers. Like, if anything, it becomes you just get like hampered. You right, Jay?
No, lit. Stop intimidating.
What do you say about Star Wars?
Stop intimidating the guests. Stop intimidating. Can't.
What do you say about Star Wars?
I'll tell you what I said about Star Wars. I just don't like it. Anyway, we're moving on.
Did you miss that shot?
I meant to.
Okay. Oh my god.
So,
yes.
But yeah, again, they're just recycling content. I mean, I think, do you know what? What they've done with Marvel, that Marvel season they did, I didn't really embrace it like I should have because on reflection, that was actually a fantastic season.
Top 3 in my opinion.
It's on reflection. I don't, because I was changing over from console to PC, so it was like kind of like learning to walk again.
Yeah.
I don't think I fully embraced that season. The loot pool was great. The Stark Enterprises was a fantastic POI. The introduction, to vaults were made around that time as well. I know that the what was the bit in the first middle bit there was on Chapter 2 Island.
We had the agency, authority.
Agency. So they brought the vault in that, then they put the vault in Stark Enterprises. Fantastic season. I think with these crossovers that they do, a lot of them are cosmetics. We all know, item shop. They've got contracts with Disney and Marvel and whatever. Like they are cosmetics and item shop. I think a couple of the collabs they've done are fantastic. I think the collabs that they've done with artists as well. You had the Travis Scott event, Marshmello, Ariana Grande. Great event.
Fortnite storyline. In terms of this update, definitely along with the quests. So we had Paradise quests a lot first, 2 weeks, didn't we? And then we had the Nothing quests, which was very good. But we haven't had absolutely anything since about Nat, and then we had the Fortnitemares, and then this week we thought we'd get Paradise Quest back, and then have a bit of storyline and see where this season's going. We're meant to have an event in 6 weeks' time, and I cannot guess where we're going at the moment. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but there's no way of knowing where we're going. But we do have the Held Crest, which I kind of think does tie in with it, but it's very small compared to what we normally have. I mean, it seemed like the Herald was like, I don't know, getting recruits, going around the map, saying what she's going to do. I feel like we need a Paradise quest back immediately.
Now, real quick, I want to weigh in. The Nothing quest sucked.
Oh man, I thought
not only were the challenges like pretty difficult for me, but I had to wear the bite skin, which was my least favorite skin this season.
I'll tell you what, before that, I would have agreed with you, but wearing that and doing the challenges, I don't know, it made me feel a connection with the skin, I guess.
With the nothing.
with the nothing.
Connection with the nothing.
I kind of like the bite skin now, to be fair. It's kind of lit.
Yeah, I warmed up to it a little bit whenever I did the challenges, but I still didn't like the challenges.
Dean, how do you feel about season quests? I know you like to do your quests, don't you? Still like that, Dean, are you?
I had, like I said, I think the past few weeks, a couple of weeks, should I say, I've been out of touch with the game. I do like to spam XP quests and whatnot.
Oh my god, I did not mean to do that.
But yeah, I like to spam XP quests and whatnot.
Yes.
But I think I think it has to go back for a couple of seasons now, where I do think, like, if we talk about storyline, you know more than me. Like,
of course.
As you know, if I were to want to know something about the Fortnite storyline or anything like that, I normally drop you a message or we talk in chat about it. I feel like it's lost its way. Chapter 3. I feel like, when they did the end of Chapter 2 event, I think I was looking forward to obviously what was happening with Geno.
Yes.
And I know they've been doing these. It's almost like a spin-off, haven't they? They've been doing other things away from the Fortnite game, but see it from a casual player's perspective.
Of course, I would agree with what you're about to say.
It's very convoluted now. It was convoluted before, but they've just made it more convoluted now. That all of a sudden there's Chrome everywhere. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just happened. That's my opinion anyway. It's just happened all of a sudden, and it feels very remnant to the Cube season, where the Cube was taking over the map. It feels all the same, and you know more than I. You might be able to explain why all of a sudden the Foundation and Jonesy haven't been around for the past 2 or 3 seasons, and why all of a sudden the 7 are contending against the Herald. It seems a bit lost at the minute, the direction.
Like, honestly, at the moment, to understand the storyline, you really have to be within the storyline, which makes it difficult.
It doesn't even make sense.
Yeah,
knowing the storyline.
Yes, exactly. And if you're just a casual and you play the events, you do some quests, you don't really read too much in between the lines. I guess it can be very, very, very confusing. I mean, we came off back in Chapter 2, and the last reality was at that time defeated, and then we went into the war between the Imaginal and the 7. The 7 won. Obviously, spoilers for the comics. They've been out for a few months at this point, but it turned out that the Imaginal maybe, which I always assumed actually, maybe the bad guys, but they had a distinct sort of way of doing things, which was probably the right way in protecting the 0 point from the rest of, like, the last reality and the Nothing and other enemies like Galactus. Maybe they were the best people for the job, and obviously we're getting to the Vibing season. It turns out that the 7 were unprepared for the reality of protecting the 0 point, and that showed with the arrival of the Nothing and the Herald. And obviously, I don't know if you know this, but if you played the Nothing's quest, you would know that which we did assume at the time, the last reality and the Nothing are one of the same. We don't really know where the Nothing sits, if they're sort of the overlords, I guess, or maybe part of it. But yeah, we're on this thing again where the cubes and the chrome does follow the same thing. And the only thing I can see where it would make sense is if the chrome and the cubes, the cubes are still on the other side of the map, somehow formed together and brought the last reality, which the Cube Queen tried to do. So I guess if you're just seeing events, you're not seeing the comic, and I guess you really have to be in the story at the moment to know it. I like what Overwatch does in terms of when they drop a new character, they drop a video, a whole bunch of lore, which Fortnite did once with Midas and the first Shadows, brought out the video, and that was it.
Deleted it.
That was it. That was
Yeah.
that was it.
I don't know what made them want to delete that.
No. Dean?
I think for me, I think it's got to a point now where they really need to start thinking about, you know, go back to like, you know, we're talking about the new audience, the new player base that are coming in. They're coming into this game without real knowledge of the fact that there is a storyline going on.
Yes.
I think it just needs to be explained a little bit more. Now, you mentioned about the comics. I know that you can gain access to the comics, you can buy the comics and all that kind of stuff. What would have been actually pretty cool of what Epic Games could have done is, we've got an item shop. They're selling cosmetics by the dozen, like every single week, recycle and whatnot. Why could they not have had like the comic book in the item shop, where you could spend 150 V-Bucks or 300 V-Bucks, whatever V-Bucks there is, to read the comic and understand the story?
Oh, actually, I never thought that's a brilliant idea. And I had it in the first Marvel comic, I'm pretty sure was in Fortnite. So, obviously, the one that Thor and Galactus, and he was a herald he was like Silver Surfer, but it was Thor. That would have been a brilliant idea, Dean. Actually,
I think it's a missed opportunity. Definitely, they're trying to make it so it's a very casual game. I know that a massive player base is casual, not competitive. I know that. I'm casual, but I like the competitive scene. I dip into both of them. But I think there's a huge missed opportunity where, you know, you've got someone who's like, oh, what Fortnite? What's this you're playing now? It's zero build now as well. What a prime opportunity to get more new people to play the game, or returning people have not picked up the game in a year or two, to bring them back into the game. You've got zero build. They don't have to learn how to build. They could just literally shoot their guns and all that kind of stuff, and then go into read a comic, or have almost like Audible, which Amazon offer. Like, have an Audible comic book in front of you, which then explains the storyline of that season, and do it every single season. Like, have a to be continued halfway through the season, and the second part of it comes in at the latter stages. Like I said, I think it's a huge missed opportunity to retain current audience, but also to bring in new people to the game.
Of course, 100% right. And as I said, Overwatch really needs to Fortnite needs to watch Overwatch, to be fair, and how they incorporate their lore into the game. They
need to Overwatch.
If
I may weigh in here, while I enjoy the comics and other forms of media, could you imagine how hard it is to connect everything together, not just through Fortnite itself, but you have to go to other forms of mediums to connect it? I feel like it's really Fortnite's own faults that they have to explain certain things through other types of mediums, while they couldn't just do it in their own game.
Yeah, that becomes an issue. I've touched on this last week with the season 4 trailer, and they have to explain that the 7 have gone missing, and we already had quests like that, I guess, in the season where the scientist had already gone missing before season 4, and he even made it like a distress call, didn't he? And he said, I don't know where they've taken me, blah, blah, blah. But obviously, when the season 4 trailer comes along, they have to then express that to viewers that might not be so into the stories. So they have to sort of have this, as I explained last week, or the week before, a floating timeline where they can sort of say, even though this had already happened, you know, you've got to try and imagine this in your own sort of head, I guess. But yeah, you're right on that. You're right on that. Guys, I hope you're enjoying the podcast. Don't forget to hit that like button as well, because it helps out. Well, 9 likes at the moment, so thank you, chat. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Now, maybe a controversial subject, but it did come up a lot last week when we were talking about Fortnite dying, and the case that maybe large content creators, maybe, this is quoting, not me, maybe have no vision, maybe got safe in their sort of little box, I guess, of creating content. Are large creators living off their previous success, which they're well entitled to, or is Fortnite, I don't know what's the word, sort of dry in terms of content we can make? I don't know who wants to go.
Slowing down.
Dean, do you want to brush on this? Dean first, unless you want to think about it.
What? Yeah, in terms of like Fortnite dying, do I think it's dying?
In terms of like, we talked about this last week, but in terms of like content creators, a lot of like saying they're like very safe in the content and make very similar stuff. I guess 5 years you're going to make the same stuff, but just a different season. I don't know how you feel about that.
I to be honest, in terms of the content creation for Fortnite, you can only work with what Epic can put there out in front of you. I feel like if you only have to go onto Twitch, you go onto the browser and you look at the categories. You look at the most viewed category, which is just chatting. You look at other most viewed categories is whatever game is on trend at the time, which is at the moment Overwatch 2. At the moment, it's Call of Duty. I think Fortnite particularly had a problem with retention of viewers, and it's not. I don't believe it's a content creator's fault.
No.
That I remember when I started like for Fortnite as peak. You had 500,000 people watching Fortnite on an evening, and in non-peak hours you'd see them. There'd be it'd be 100, 200,000, and then at the moment it's 20, 30,000. I don't think it's a content creator's fault. They can only work with what they've got.
Of course.
And from a viewer's perspective, both on YouTube and on Twitch, those viewers have seen it all before. They've seen these recycled content. What the only time that you'll ever see Fortnite pop is the intrigue of a new season.
Mm-hmm.
The first day is and then it only takes about 12 to 18 hours to realize it's the same again. It's like the same like shotgun meta. It's the same SMG meta. There's subtle map changes here and there, but that's it. That's it now. But that's not going to retain viewership. I think there are still content creators that draw a crowd on Fortnite. The bigger streamers that are competitive, like your Clicks can draw 20, 30,000. Benji Fishy did when he was on Fortnite, 20, 30,000 viewers on Twitch. They always do because it's Fortnite competitive, and they're actually, when you watch them and you're watching them in awe because of how brilliant they are of what they do. But the smaller content creators, such as ourselves, we've got to think outside the box a little bit and kind of like put the finger on the pulse as to what your audience wants to watch, what your audience wants to.
You should always think that, yes.
Oh, hey, I just leveled up.
I've leveled up a couple of times. But yeah, I think that's something which I had this problem last year when we're talking about Fortnite potentially losing its viewership and dying. I sat there and I thought, what am I going to do to change up?
What is my controller doing?
And basically, I looked at the competitive side of Fortnite, and that does draw a crowd, particularly on Twitch, because not only does it draw a crowd, but it also engages your audience because they get involved.
It creates narrative. It creates story.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you going to win the game? Yeah. Like you're not just playing Fortnite. This is a problem. Like people, it's a question that came up last week, and we need to discuss it. But reason why these big creators can do that is because they're successful in what they're doing. So you need to be innovative. You need people to watch you for more than a minute or so, and you need to create story. Oh, why do I want to be here? I want to see the end. I want to see if he wins the game. I want to see how many points he gets. So you create narratives within your story, and I'll probably touch on this later. But Dean's done that in terms of tournaments. He almost creates drama. I don't mean you actually create drama, but you're interested in these names in Dean's community where you're like, oh, and they finished top last week. When they do the same again, this one finished low last week, and then it creates. You want to come back. And that's what you have to do. And you just can't create content and expect it to pop off when these other big creators who deserve to be where they are do it. Like in terms of even shift and change in terms of Ninja. Like he realised something and he changed his whole editing team, and he got the Grombe guys in to edit all his videos. All his videos now are from Grombe. So
Ninja's always been a genius at what he does. Yes. He knows how to reinvent
Can
himself.
we get Ninja on the show?
That would be cool.
That would be very interesting to get him on. But he's always got his finger on the pulse. He's always, if he feels like his content's going stale, he finds a way to kind of reinvent himself. He rebrands himself. I think the Zero build has been a masterstroke for him. I think it's worked hand in a glove for him because he was considered the best at one point, and it wasn't too far down the line that there are other players that can outplay him. So it got very toxic for Ninja, didn't it? With this whole Tipu versus Ninja and other aspects as well. He didn't help himself, admittedly. I think some of the things he did.
That creates controversy, and that also, what we were just talking about, that also helps with viewers. Controversy, drama, narratives. It does. Unfortunately, it does help, even though it's.
But that doesn't draw eyes to Fortnite. That draws eyes to the viewers and the personal beef and vendetta between them. I think there's a slight difference there. I mean, if I was to start kicking off a stink with another small stream or something like that, they would only come into your stream because it's like, oh, you're beefing with this person. What's your beef with this person? They're not interested in the content that's on the screen, which is about Fortnite. Of course. And I've seen it firsthand. I've seen small streamers that have credible viewers get incredible viewers for the wrong reasons, and that is causing drama. And I think with Ninja, he didn't want that. So he made his move to Mixer. Obviously, he took the bag.
Yes,
fair play to him. Wasn't necessarily the best move. Came back to Twitch, and then he was playing a series of different games because he wasn't enjoying Fortnite. Then Fortnite became zero build, and there you go. Ninja's back on Fortnite.
And then now he's streaming every single platform going. So
yeah. Well, that's some going. I mean, I think the writing was on the wall that when Twitch decided, you know what, you can stream on other platforms too.
Of course.
But I think with Fortnite, I think what you've got to do, I think it's if I was to give advice to anyone that's thinking of starting to create content on Fortnite now, new streamers, I would probably look at a different game because everything's been done on Fortnite. Everything's been done. Skybase has been done. Memes have been done. I would look at other games if I was to be perfectly honest. It's such a hard game to start off with.
I mean, I always go back to what I think it was Elton John that said this. In terms of songs, there's only so much the human ear can sort of enjoy. There's only so many chords. Like you can play millions of chords, but it would sound awful. And I think he sort of put a date by this year, everything would have been done. Every sort of sequence, every sort of list. There's only so much a human ear likes. So you can make these other tracks and stuff, but you just wouldn't enjoy it. And that's the thing with Fortnite. It's all been done. Unless Fortnite has another dramatic change like they did with Zero Builds, like it kind of all been done. And that's why I kind of do the podcast, because it's different. It creates narrative and there's things happening and there's story to it. And it's not just you turning on the stream and expecting something to stick.
I think this is a great idea that you mentioned about the podcast and the format that you're doing it in now. It's a great idea because you can actually, particularly with people that have been there, in terms of Fortnite. I always say if you survived Chapter 1 Season X and still play the game, if you still play this game, after that season, you can survive any season on Fortnite. So I think it's a very interesting thing that what you're doing now, and getting different content creators in that have played the game for so long and just getting their input on things. And it's actually everything that I've been saying now is, but it's been on my mind, and it's just like you trying to use a platform to release it all on, and just this is actually a good opportunity for me to really kind of discuss the positives and the negatives. To
be fair, the same point someone just made in chat, it's like everything in terms of any media. It's all been done. And I don't know, if you bring yourself to the content and you bring your sort of own personality, maybe you will succeed with Fortnite. But I guess if you just try and start with a blank slate and you try and copy it, it's probably, unfortunately, not going to work for you.
Yes, agreed. I mean, you can try and rehash things all you want. People, your viewers are not stupid. They know when things have been done before. So if you try and mask something where it's just a standard, there's a skybase glitch or something like that, and you do a skybase and then you jump off and then you land on an umbrella. Oh wow! I've defeated a skybase. Yeah, it's been done before. Everything's been done before in Fortnite. I'm hoping that something new will happen for every single season that happens, but lo and behold, it can be very repetitive and recycled.
Yeah, in videos, so I do. Obviously, I do YouTube, and in videos, I can do a great gameplay, record it, and it'd be like a 12 kill game, and it's but where's the narrative? Where's the story? Why would people watch 10 or 9 minutes of this and there's no narrative? And that's why, you know, Cypher, Coach JD have gone into these fashion shows that people find repetitive or stuff. I kind of still watch them and enjoy them all. They do like the duel when they both go into the same game, they die and they spectate someone, they got to pick a winner. That's you've never got to watch the whole video to find out if they picked the winner of the game. That's what you got to do to make people watch the whole video.
That's it. Yeah, I think with like competitive Fortnite, I think the competitive Fortnite, like particularly like Fortnite Cups and all that kind of stuff, people aren't drawn in by them as much these days. I think the zero build competitive is fantastic.
Yeah, build is. I was trying to watch build the other day, and it's just I don't know.
Yeah, I think the zero build competitive is something that I've really gotten into myself and started to host myself. I honestly, what makes the zero build competitive so much fun is that anyone can win.
Yes.
It's about being in the right place, right time. And you don't have to be the best player in the world to be in the right place at the right time.
What's your best finish on the zero build, by the way? What's your...
I finished 29th in the Quick Cup last night on NA East.
Nice.
On Middle East, I finished 20th. I've captured multiple top 100s in Cash Cups and in Quick Cups. I've been joined by some really, I've been joined by some really talented players as well. But I would like to say I've unearthed a couple of really talented players. I always knew like Bags. You know Bags very well as well. For the past 2 or 3 years.
Okay. Real quick, quick quiz. What is the color of grass?
Green.
Okay, good. You're not too.
Oh wait. To be fair. If you're talking about Fortnite, could be purple.
No, J.
Could be
J. No. No, J. A. No.
That's a good sideways. To be fair, because that was a sideways gate. So that was. I think we were pretty much. Unless you want to mention anything about content creators, content in terms of Fortnite lit. I don't know. I feel like you started off with this.
Yeah.
You're good. Right. Trap game. Dean, follow me.
Oh. All right.
God, I think it's the middle one. I think it's the middle one. Yeah, it is the middle one. All right, hold on. Let me just. All right, actually, lit hitting you might have been a good idea because I noticed this week I've added shield for the 1v1, but unfortunately, traps no longer one shot you for 200. So that wasn't. But if you have damage, that might be all right.
I'm just going to put it out there that I've got 40 shield because I've been attacked several times by
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. That's what I mean because the trap won't kill you first time, and we've already done this. This is the leaderboard where they get killed straight away. So when you get hit, you probably won't die with shield straight away. But whenever you get hit is when it would count. So you got to try and get however far you can without, of course, you got to bait the traps and see where I guess you will end up, Mr. Genie.
You do really. So you basically got me doing a death run, right?
Well, it's just a no. There's nothing to. Oh, first one. Oh wait, second one. I know, swear you've got this. You've got this.
Okay, 5.
You got 5. Oh. I actually thought you were an actual box there for a second. So I don't remember putting that in.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, I can't see now.
10.
I bet he's sweating. He's stressed. He's not even talking. He's not talking. He's not talking. 15. His arms are probably getting a little tired now, keeping up that same momentum. Lucky he broke it then.
You are going to mess this up. You are going to mess this up. You will mess this up.
Oh.
How long we got to go?
You are going to mess this up.
Oh my god, the trap went off at the back. How did he survive that? It's destiny.
What?
Unless he messes up now. He's actually just done it.
Oh, that's wild.
I mean,
then-
no sweat, no sweat at all. Like,
He actually just clutched it up completely. Right, that's 3 people who completed it. Oh no, that's the first one on the first go. I don't know if you just want to eliminate it yourself. You go back to the studio. That's the first one to do it. And usually we give people a second chance, but if you get worse, that score counts. So it's it's double. It's double nothing basically. But yeah, the first one to complete it, first go actually. So congratulations.
I'm back at the studio.
Nice. Congratulations on that.
I'm just a box now, so.
Mate, insane. Right, Lit. It's your time to sign. And I think we should go Mario. Now, thanks for closing the door. Windy. Even though that gate's open behind us. But,
Well, the whole reason I'm a box right now is because,
oh, wow. I didn't even notice you changed skin. What? So, I don't know where you want to start. Chapter 2, from the end event of Chapter 1, Black Hole event, and then follow up. If you can remember, I'll give you a few. The device event, Galactus. Okay, hold on, let me get a timer. Chat, let me get a timer.
all right, whenever you're ready, here we do this.
Okay, so I guess you're doing Rick. Okay, Lit is going to explain the Fortnite storyline from Chapter 2 from the end event of Chapter 1 in a Rick voice. Now,
Morty, I don't know if you're here, Morty. You're in my hands, Morty. But you talked about how everything blew up, yeah? Here's the thing. It actually went back to normal. And we spent like 5 months on the island nothing really happened. And then this guy who like turned things into gold, he tried starting a war. And it didn't really go so well. Something about like ghosts and shadows. Anyways, he just used it as like some kind of front to build some massive bomb to blow back the storm, which is apparently a living thing. We saw this like blonde-haired guy in his office. I don't know who he is. I don't know. And then like Galactus showed up, and some guy named Iron Ass, he came in and started doing stuff. Then he died, and then stuff turned into sand, and there was this giant orb in the sky. The Chapter 2 storyline is tough.
okay, that was 60 seconds. I was kind of enjoying that. I was going to make it go longer. Well,
You sounded like Mr. T then.
it kind of went into that, to be fair. It was pretty. It was Rick at the start. It was good. GG's, well done. No, it's stressful. I couldn't do that.
Ricky is a lot harder to do.
Yeah, because you're whoever does it, crazy.
You just got to replace every time you say with a burp.
There was a game that was out a little while ago, wasn't there? And it was doing the rounds on TikTok, and it was the Rick and Morty voice, and people were like, "Why does it sound like Rick and Morty?" And they just copied. No, it was actually the same guy, the same production company that turned up the game.
It was that one gun game where you have like a talking gun.
Yeah,
I think it's called High on Life.
yeah. Okay, yeah, that was it. Yeah, the gun was Morty voice, and then something else was Rick or something. But yeah, that was very good. Props to that.
Oh,
all right,
no problem.
I actually need to. I don't know if you've seen Dean. Or you can look on the stream. Okay, now every so often, every 3 months, Fortnite decides, you know what? Let's do a skin survey, and for whatever reason, completely reveal major storyline characters in survey skins. So the recent surveys, the big one, that exposed most of the members of the 7 left. We had the sisters, we had the Argent, who's the one in the middle. Recently, we had Geno dropped even before he was announced in the comics. Over there, as you can see, it's very small, but all of them skins are mostly out by now, apart from, I think, the bottom right 2, I guess, are not in the game, and maybe the one on the top right. But we've got the Herald, major storyline character who's been known for us for a while because they get dropped, and obviously there's been a new one recently, and you can sort of work out there's some also major sort of storyline characters. But yeah, Geno, Argent, the 7, and I'm like, is this what Fortnite should be doing? Exposing major storyline characters within skin surveys. Lit, do you want to start on this one?
I really dislike it because it's just like you see this news posted all over YouTube about a new skin survey, whatever, and you see all these cool and unique skins, then you see this one skin that people are starting to speculate is this like this character or like a major storyline character. And I just don't like that. It's just revealing something in such an underwhelming way. It's just disappointing.
I mean, I completely agree with you, but at the same time, I've got to appreciate the content they're giving me. Oh my god, I can make a video on it.
Oh, big content streamer man over here,
so,
raking in the dough. At least I'm getting a cut of it now.
I'm kind of like, well, I hate it because I like to be surprised. I'm like, oh my god, who's this guy? We haven't had that for a while. When Jonesy popped up, I don't feel like that would ever happen again. Because we're kind of, getting this skin reveal and a skin survey. And it's like, oh, and there's the guy who we suspected to be the Origin anyway. But once again, when content's dry and they drop a skin survey, it's like, you can talk about it, and speculate, which is kind of fun to do. It's fun to look at all the little... So I enjoy it. At the same time, I'm completely also against it, because I feel like if the Herald at the in the trailer was revealed, or no, back in the other trailer, but it was maybe that skin was actually revealed first before the survey, but not completely. We didn't say a whole lot of it. If I'm getting the dates muddled up, but this has happened most time with the members of Seven and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know if Dean really keeps up with this stuff, but let's see his opinion on it. Do you believe they should be leaking major storyline skins in surveys?
Absolutely not. I mean, I've not seen these surveys firsthand. Absolutely not. Nothing more intriguing than a bit of mystique. I think just going and posting on social media. I mean, I sometimes when leakers post like, oh, this is going to be the new skin in the item shop tonight, I don't want to know. Like, I'm pretty old school when it comes to stuff like that. I like to be surprised. But no, I don't agree that they should be doing that. But I've not seen it firsthand. These skin surveys. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you're looking at my stream at the moment. I can get them up quickly for you.
I can see the one in the top.
Yeah,
right
so that's the Origin, and that was revealed quite a long time ago. And even from this, we could speculate, because of his hands are purple. We sort of already knew he was at least at some point a member of the Last Reality, and maybe even a Cube King, and that all came from that survey. Even before we then revealed in game that this is the Origin. He was the Cube King before he found out the Cube was devoured and he left, and that whole thing with the Imagined Order. Let me get some other stuff up here. Bottom right hand corner now, you should be coming on screen. I guess it's delayed, of course, for you. But you can just about see the Herald in this. And
yeah, see that.
Yeah, and this is Geno, which was revealed before in the comic.
Herald and
yes,
comic survey, whatever.
So Geno hasn't been released yet. Am I correct?
No, he hasn't even been in game.
Apart
from that mysterious orb at the end. Apart from that, which
we know who Geno is now just by that.
And the comics obviously revealed
yeah, of course.
But this was before the comics.
So the image to the top left of the screen, let me just gauge an understanding. That's from the comics, or is that what's been leaked?
No, actually, in the comics, it's a little tiny bit different. So now people are speculating that this could be a younger version of Geno, and we're going to have a time travel season eventually, so they can work out all the plot holes, which I guess you can feel already. But some people are set on that sort of thing, which is their own narrative. But yeah, that's pretty much Geno, but he does appear slightly different in the comics, and he has a slightly different color as well. It's black and yellow, which obviously could be a style. So this may be a style. So I guess we got his whole look almost confirmed.
Yeah, I think with certain skins like that, can you remember back? I forgot which season they first did it in, the Prisoner skin. Yeah, and you had to
Chapter
do
1, Season 8.
That's
7.
the one. 7, I think. That's the one. So you had to do challenges to unlock him. He wasn't actually in the battle pass, but you had to do challenges to unlock him. I think antagonists such as like Geno shouldn't be a battle pass skin. Shouldn't be in the item shop. That should be like a secret skin. That should be something that you explore yourself. You do those quests. You unlock parts of his body first, back blings, gliders.
Yeah.
Once you've completed those quests, boom, there you go. There's your antagonist of Fortnite. I think that's just my opinion anyway. I kind of think if you just leak it and just post it all over social media and it's there in a battle pass, kind of again, it's the mystique, it's the surprise about it that you kind of lacking.
I guess perfectly says this in my opinion. Fortnite taking out on this. I don't know why they keep doing it. So skin surveys are relatively pointless. It just creates debate, and this is probably again touching on creating drama and narrative, and this is deliberate on Fortnite's part, I guess. Yeah, completely deliberate. So, Fortnite, stop doing skin surveys and let us have a bit of I don't know, mystique.
Nothing wrong. Yeah. Nothing wrong with having a bit of a surprise every now and then. There's nothing wrong with that. We don't need to. We don't need to know what's going to happen.
I feel like they should also start hiding the secret skins again, like they used to.
Yeah.
I miss doing like the secret skins. Serrana was one in chapter 2 season 1. Wasn't in the battle pass. He had to do challenges to unlock her. There was like they've done that so many times. I just think they should do that again and just who is this character? And then once you've like unlocked that character, a 30-second trailer just to explain who this character is and what impact they're going to have on the Fortnite storyline.
Yeah, it does destroy that sort of intrigue. Right. No, I would just last bit. The Order skin obviously is an item shop skin which anyone can buy at any time, and the rest of the 7 are not. I don't know how I feel about that, but it kind of like they ran out of time with the Order skin and just released it. But obviously they've known about it for a while, and they just end up like we had the Imagine and the Origin come out in the Battle Pass that season. And then we had the the Order come out just in the Battle Pass. I feel like we were so like we had the Visitor, and then we had a long time before we had the Scientists, and then the Foundation, and then it's just all 7 just came out at once.
They kind of regurgitated it out in chapter 3, haven't they? There's the rest of them. It shows to me that if they're doing that so quickly, like after it's taken them so long to introduce the first 3.
Yeah,
it indicates to me that I don't think they're going to play much of a part in the storyline after this chapter.
I mean, currently the Imagine is it's currently fell into a 0 point with Geno, and they're both sort of departalized. So Geno, it was like a sort of like
it's kind of the 6 right now.
Yeah, we don't really know if the Imagine is even still with us. I guess we find out eventually.
I mean, well. That's an interesting topic. I mean, if Geno's able to come back with sheer willpower alone, then the Imagine's sure.
I am pretty sure that the Imagine will come back, and we'll probably see the 2 Snapshot sisters who are villains. Oh, also, Dean, there was in the comics it was explained that the 2 sisters went into loop Geno because Geno's their father. If you didn't know, that happened in the comics. He discontinued from the actual storyline. He was like betted with like someone from the Imagine Order's hierarchy that. Oh, my daughters can go in the loop, make it out in time, and they won't even have any trouble. But they did have trouble. Snapshots, of course, are created the moment someone steps outside the loop. And because he wasn't happy with them, he replaced the original sisters with either versions or snapshot versions of his daughters. So, that, mate, dad of the year. but that happened. Oh. I don't know if you knew any of that, Dean, but that happened.
I did not know. Again, that's something which, like, it frustrates me that they've gone about this way.
Oh my god,
with Fortnite.
Yeah,
Tiny Bath.
Excuse me.
Tiny Bath, indeed. That is actually cute as hell.
Yeah.
All right. We move on to the. We haven't done this in a while, Dean. Actually, but to break things up. Nothing suits this as a 1v1 situation.
Oh God, here I go.
So let's have a little look. Oh,
it's incoming. There we go. All right, let me just turn the sounds back on because sometimes I get.
I'm not making excuses already, right? But my scroll wheel is broken on my mouse. That's why I've been playing Zero Build.
Oh well,
it's fine.
Actually, at one point I had this completely broken that you couldn't delete build, but I think I fixed that. I actually need a shield. It only spawns one at a time. Oh, this is.
You gotta change that.
This is terrible. What sort of health are you on, Dean? It might not respawn. Oh, there we
I'm
go.
on 200. I'm on 200.
Oh, well.
How many minutes you got?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. You know what? If you kill me, you kill me. It's just a bit of fun. So obviously, when I edit, we build, and you know.
Oh no, it works. Yeah.
I decide not to have SMGs because, well, SMGs. So just good old-fashioned shotgun. Oh wow, he's insane. He's insane. That didn't take him long. Pro zero builder.
Oh my god.
In build. Right.
Jay.
Yeah.
You might want to look at this.
You haven't broken the set, have you? Lit? I don't even know where you are.
No, look behind you.
Oh wow. That's impressive. We
Yeah.
now have a big buff. I don't know, Lit, if you want to take on Mr. didnt.
Okay, bring it on. Alright, let's just try this. Now, let it be known, I am not a good builder. So, 3, 2, 1, go.
It's all good. It's just a bit of fun. Just a bit of fun. Oh.
Oh, here I go, not building well.
That's good. It's good.
Oh boy! Okay. Oh my god.
I see Dean is insane. Dean is insane. Dean is insane.
I want a rematch. I want a rematch.
You only get one chance in this stream. You only get one chance in this stream. Give him his crown. Give him his crown. I don't know if you want to return back through the portal. But you can hear from our sponsors today. No, it's not. It's not. If you do buy anything from the Fortnite item shop, please use creator code Mr. JLYII, or you can indeed use Mr. Deangenie, which I do say often actually in my streams, because I never use my own code when I'm buying anything, so I remove it quickly after that, because I'm not that person. I don't even know if it works if you use your own code. I don't think it does.
I don't believe it does.
I feel like that'd be a bit broken. I feel like you just buy loads of skins and get 10%. I don't even know how much. 5%.
Also, make sure you use code LIT in the item shop whenever I eventually get a creator code. One day. You need to get that.
Just 2 seconds. I'm just charging my phone. It's just gone flat on me. One moment.
Oh, no worries. As I keep saying it, please make a TikTok, and then your voices you do. Definitely the old Mario one is kind of cracked. I'm not gonna lie, and obviously you're more. That was a. Right.
I'm back.
All right, Mr. Genie, how are you finding things on Twitch and stuff like that at the moment?
Yeah, do tell.
On the purple side.
It's been an interesting year. Obviously, I touched on it earlier about last year was a bit. Got to a point where I didn't really know what I was going to do. I think any content creator, particularly like a live streamer, can relate to when people are not as interested in tuning in, not as engaged. And I felt like that for about a month or two going towards the end of 2021. And like I just kind of had to sit back and think, what? People are gonna people pick on and catch on really quick when you're not enjoying yourself doing something, and I think if they pick up on that, they're not going to enjoy watching you or being engaged by what you're doing. So obviously the kind of the turn I've taken the past almost 12 months now. After having a couple of discussions with some close friends, I was like, what do I do? What do I enjoy about Fortnite? And it's not about playing the game. It's not about actually competing in competitive, but hosting my own competitions, tournaments, and I went into that sort of direction, and that's been the turning point for me. Really enjoyed this past year streaming.
Of course.
I think the best thing I ever did, it's not about, and I say this to anyone, it's not about quantity, it's quality.
Of course.
And I think if you try and stream 7 days a week, 6 hours a day,
no, it doesn't work. Doesn't work.
So I refined my stream schedule, so it's a lot more manageable. Yeah, and it's worked massively.
We were touching it before. We were talking about Fortnite content creation and narratives. And as I said, your tournaments work well in the sense that you're creating drama, I guess. Where, you want to know how people are finishing in these tournaments, and you want to know stories and how people finish. And you're creating leagues, obviously, so you're creating a weekly thing, and when people can get relegated, promotion, and that thing works perfectly because then you'll engage to actually watch your stream in the sense that you want to know, oh, this person got relegated last week from your silver division, and now in bronze, and I wonder if they can get promoted. And some people, I guess, watch it to see if you can get promoted because I think you got relegated the week before, didn't you? And you got promoted this week.
Of course, I think it's a little bit of storytelling.
Yeah, of course.
But also, I think the main thing is, really, away from Fortnite, you just got to really focus on the community that you got around you. Surround yourself with good people. Be as engaging as you possibly can. And encourage people as well. I think a lot of people can be discouraged in taking part in tournaments and cups because, let's face it, it's not just Fortnite, but in any gaming community that you're in, it can be very toxic. Fortnite is no exception, and I think you can come across communities that can be competitive and just are out to get each other's throats.
Yes,
that would discourage people from taking part in cups and tournaments. But like you touched on, I've got like a league which I host, and there's 3 divisions, and it's not always like there's like gold division, silver division, bronze division, and it's like all at different like skill gaps.
Of course.
I found that to be quite successful because people are like invested by it. People are wanting to take part because they feel like they've got a chance. And I spoke to like my mods, and they're not bothered about winning the bronze division. They just want to see how far they can get, and they're happy to play it month in, month out, and stay where they are. But there's going to be the people that do want to join and just win money.
Of course,
just flex. But yeah, and it gives people to something to talk about as well, and that's the key thing as well, is that engagement piece. And I think that is really, really crucial. More than anything, more than the content you're pumping out, is how are you retaining your viewers? How are you retaining your audience? How are you keeping them excited to be taking part in your streams?
Of course, and you've done it perfectly. As I said, I previously touched on, this is one of the reasons why I want to be a little bit more clinical in my content, like just not stream. That doesn't. It can work, obviously, but as I said, this is why I do the podcast, because then people get a show. People can hear what we got to say about certain stuff and hear about your content creation and play a few games and sort of enjoy it, I guess, rather than just strategically playing Fortnite, getting eliminated, and doing a ever circle of that. Because it doesn't work, unfortunately. I mean, streamers get big doing that, and fair play, absolutely fair play. But I honestly don't think that would work for me. I don't think I would get big or of the size I am now by just playing the game.
I don't think anyone can really grow now just playing the game.
No.
If you have already like a close knit community where, let's say you've got like 5 or 6 friends and you're starting out, and you've got, you're just like rotating in different squads with your friends, or you want to play with viewers, and I think playing with viewers is a thing in the past now. I think more often than not, the competitive side just want a 1v1, and that's not everyone's jam.
No,
I don't like 1v1s. I don't like box fights. I much prefer the battle royale sense of things. But like customs are massive. Again, it's something that everyone could be a part of. Fun customs. You don't have to like go around slaying the lobby. You can go right. That's it. You're only using a sniper. That's it. People like that from all skill gaps. But yeah, it's tough just to play the game now. I did it for quite a long period of time. I did it for 3 years, and in between, like probably every couple of months, I would do a tournament or a cup, and then I'll go back to then just playing solos. I love playing solos because it's easier to engage with your audience. But people don't want to watch that anymore.
No,
in my eyes.
Yes, of course. You've got to be, I don't know, not doing other things, breaking the mold. As we said, it's not everything has been done, and gameplay and just basic gameplay of Fortnite has been done several million times at this point. So you've got to do more. I mean, in terms of playing with viewers, like me and Lit were trying to go into squads and we're trying to get engagement, like sort of conversation with other people. It's difficult because you go into like 10 games and no one's got a mic. That's like sort of thing you want to do because you want the content. So most people don't have mics, so that's a difficult thing. But yeah, as I said, you just can't turn on the stream anymore and play the game. So what you've done in terms of your tournaments is really good, to be fair.
Yeah, thank you. I enjoy it. It's the one element of the streaming aspect that I've really enjoyed. It's all it all started off from a box fight tournament that I did once, and then it kind of then went into customs. But yeah, I love hosting tournaments. I love hosting cups. I enjoy casting them, commentating on them. That's the part I really do enjoy the most.
Is that the map you did with Brad?
So we did, yeah. So that was the box fight map we did. He helped me with that one. Very bog standard. I remember. So like, I think you could appreciate yourself, Jay, when you look at your analytics afterwards, and like if you've come across an analytic that you're really proud of, you kind of just like you're buzzing. And I remember it like it was yesterday. So I was going into the round one. There was 32 players that were going to do a 1v1 box fight tournament, and I remember distinctly Bags and Diablo Boy 101. They were in the first round head to head against one another.
Goats, yes,
absolute goats. Fantastic people as well. And I turned and looked, and bearing in mind this is a streamer, by the way, that was like averaging 10 to 15 viewers a stream at the time. And I turned and looked at my viewer count, and there was 67 people watching.
Damn.
And
that's
I was
crazy.
like, I honestly, I was just beaming. And do you know what happened as soon as they started kicking off the 1v1? My internet crashed.
Oh, yeah, you got to remember that. Oh,
so then I said, look, my internet is playing up. I'm going to restart the stream. So I restarted the stream and I said, please stay in the chat. I will be back. And I looked on my OBS when I came back after, it was only like 30, 60 seconds, something like that. And I looked at my OBS and my chat was just filled with people just spamming emotes.
That's great. That's great.
And I came back and there was 45 and I was just like, I had 67, but it's all good. But yeah, I just seen that analytic. That was at the time, I broke my highest viewer count.
Nice.
And by doing that tournament, and I think that will forever stick with me. And that was the turning point for me, where it's like, actually, I like hosting tournaments on Fortnite. This is something that I enjoy doing, and my viewers enjoy watching. So that's where I delved into that niche a bit more last year. And like I said, it's worked wonders.
Yeah, you've definitely broke the mold. I don't know if that's the right expression, but you definitely, when obviously the pandemic happened, I know you were furloughed and stuff like that, so you had a lot of time dedicated to streaming. So obviously your viewership went up a great deal during that time, and obviously we came out of it when many streamers and content creators views declined. I was looking, I think your views tripled after the actual not the pandemic. What was? Couldn't go anywhere. Couldn't work.
Lockdown.
After lockdown, you tripled, almost quadrupled your concurrent viewership, and that's many people. I would say 1 in 10 people probably do that.
So yeah, I think what it was. So it was a series of different variables which helped, like it kind of helped that. So when I was during the first lockdown, I was on PS4. And I was a console streamer, and this is no disrespect to console streamers out there. It is very difficult to be a console streamer on Twitch and be successful.
Yeah.
You do have to, if you do have that small audience and it's starting to grow a little bit, you 100% need to look to invest in getting into PC, because if you get into a PC, the opportunities are endless on a PC than on a console. So,
of course.
So later that year, we were so after the first lockdown, we went into a second lockdown, and I had my laptop, so a gaming laptop, and my viewership went up a little bit because people were intrigued as to what I looked like, because I didn't have a webcam, so I used a webcam. It was a horrible webcam, but I had a webcam nonetheless. And then I upgraded my webcam when I started to get the viewers, and I got a Logitech Stream Cam, fantastic piece of kit. cheap, and it's a great quality. Got myself a ring light just to brighten it up a bit. Some of you decided to go up a bit more. But it does go flat. You do plateau if you don't change up.
Yes.
I
Innovative.
plateaued. Yeah,
Innovative,
I
not
plateaued. Yeah, I plateaued. I was averaging, so throughout the year of 2021, my lifetime, so the year average for 365 days was 18 viewers, which is great. That's actually really good.
That puts you in the top 2% of Twitch.
Yeah, and then this year I've averaged 45, which
puts you in the top 0.5%. So,
yeah, so it's just going to that next level, and just trying to what's a really good thing to do is network with other streamers too. Not to rely on raids or anything, but it's good to network with other streamers because you can actually end up sharing communities in a very healthy way. Sometimes it can be a dog eat dog world out there. It's like, oh, you're stealing my viewers. I've come across a ton of streamers that have been like that, and it's like, you're stealing my viewers this, or you're stealing my ideas that. I've come across it. I'd like to think I've come across all kinds of different things on Twitch and the drama on Twitch and stuff like that.
I don't really get that. I'm not gonna lie. Touch wood.
I listen. I wouldn't wish it on anyone. I think we're all in this together. I've associated myself with streamers in the past. I don't associate with them anymore for one reason or another. I think you just need to surround yourself with the right people as well.
Of course.
I've learned a lesson the hard way on that front. And, I look, like I said, I think this past year, I think I've loved streaming more than I ever have done. And that's because I'm enjoying myself. I'm not starting up the stream and not all this again. I'm actually genuinely enjoying myself, and I think that's a huge difference too.
Of course. Big stuff. Oh, you mentioned a bit about competitive zero builds. There's been quite a bit of development on that, haven't there, really? I guess in terms of you literally quit last week because of the goo gun, but obviously that rectified itself.
So, honestly, you just got to learn to cope.
This is where we could see your first argument on the podcast.
Oh, he's just there to he's there to say that.
I'm the one with the pump shotgun.
No, so
here's a warning shot.
So goo gun zero build wasn't a good mix at all. I go back to a statement I made about weapons they've added to the game. If you're adding a weapon which is destroying the USP, which is building, you cannot counter it, and you cannot counter a goo gun. Should not be in any competitive format. Period.
Too true. You got to be able to counter something.
Do you know what? Put mechs in competitive.
The goo.
Put mechs in competitive because you can counter them if you have a boogie bomb. There was a way to counter the mech.
Mm.
There was more ways of countering the mech than there were to counter a goo gun.
Yeah, you can't count. I mean, in pubs, it's a fun gun when you've when you've got what do you call it? When you've got the goo gun. When you haven't, it's terrible.
Yeah, the goo gun is just one of those broken items that they add in the game. There's always a broken item they add in the game.
Yeah, you have to.
But they had I obviously this season have been playing Turbo competitively. Really enjoyed it. Seen some small success. It got to a point with me. I was tired of making endgame. You're getting ready. You're kind of looking at pushing a team, but then there's just literally a big massive bonfire display of goo in the sky, just going everywhere.
Yeah, that can be annoying.
Explosion. And it just wasn't fun. It was repetitive. The same thing was happening every single end game. There's no way of countering it. Just had to. In the end, I was like, I can't play this. I'll wait until next season. I'll be patient, let it go out the game. And then they bolted it. 5 days later, when I announced my retirement, I was like, right then, I'm coming back.
You know what? You could make that into a TikTok short. Cause I think I didn't. Oh, I can't remember his name. Oh, Fortnite player. Was he in Faze? Replay the guy you hate.
Thieves.
No, no, that's replay. Yeah, Thieves said. What did he say? He went. Oh, he tweeted "Boogie Bombs need to go," and literally an hour later, we had a Fortnite status tweet, and he put that into a TikTok. Sort of. So you might want to get onto that.
I could have done, but I didn't explicitly say that it was to do with like the goo gun.
I'm pretty sure you did. I thought you did. I did.
I might have done. I can't remember now, but it was a very short-lived retirement. I retired for 5 days and came back, and someone said that snipers have got bolted. I was a little bit disappointed, but I also could understand it. But then when I got into a game, I was just like, wait, what? How have I just got headshot sniped with a sniper? I thought they were bolted. You can only get them in hollow chests. And I was like, that's a great idea. Like, that means that every end game isn't going to be flooded with snipers. There's only going to be like 2, 3, maybe 4. That's perfect. Like, I'm happy with that. I think that's a great thing they've done. And I don't mind having a goo gun in the game if it wasn't as accessible as it is. You can find them in every chest. If you put them into loot drops, you only get, 5, 6 a game? Something like that?
Yeah.
Put them in loot drops, and you can only get them in supply drops only. That would have been fine. I could have lived with that. And it's like, once you've run out of ammo in that's it. It's gone. But yeah, the goo gun was a bit of a
sticking point.
It was a little bit.
I'm here all week. Don't worry. No, I'm not here. I won't stream every day. But can't
you used to.
Thank you for the $2 donation, Lit, and thank you for the £1.79 donation, Cheeky. I appreciate it. And hi to everyone coming into chat. Sorry, I'm not ignoring you. It's just conversation, I guess. And Ansi Gamer with a £10 donation. Thank you. Appreciate that as well. That is massive. Thank you, Ansi, for that one. So where were we on that one? Gugon, no, don't get that back in the game. But I just like to say, because we were previously talking about updates, like me and Dean, I think, are of an age where you used to buy a game, and that used to be it. You used to get the game in a nice little case, and then that was it. You would have it for a year, you would play it, you would enjoy it. And now Fortnite updates every 2 weeks, or it used to update every week. You never used to get that. Like, you buy a game and that would be it. So we've got to give it credit for that, even though we do talk about it because it's fun to talk about. But on reflection, it's definitely better.
So how old are you, Jay?
30.
30. I'm nearly 35.
And I'm Litzy.
Yeah. Fortnite is the best. Like, I think the favorite game I've ever played.
Mm.
This is the first game I've played where a shooting's been involved. I used to be a FIFA player. I used to play FIFA from 97, 98, all the way through to 2015. I want to say was the last time I bought a FIFA.
I used to play similar.
2016, I think, and then I flipped over to Football Manager in 2017.
Same. So I used to play that.
Yeah, and then Fortnite became a thing. Yeah, I don't think I've actually played a game as much as Fortnite, and I agree with what you're saying. A game that updates every couple of weeks. The map changes. They've had, like, this is the third map we've been on now. You've got creative. You've got this, and you've got that. You've got a resource to network with other people, meet new friends. I've met people IRL because of Fortnite.
Crazy.
So Fortnite is, I would say, my favorite game of all time.
Shout.
I have to agree.
You're a bit younger than us, are you? Did you just go through buy games and that was it? What you got was what you get? No.
What?
Did you?
I didn't even hear.
I don't really need to know your age, but have you ever bought a game where you buy the game and that's it? No updates, just you get what you get. You put it in and you play it.
Yeah, I'm a Sonic fan.
Oh, that's fair. All right, that's a good game. That's already made. Okay, yeah, Sonic, great game. I
played Sonic on Sega Master System.
Nice. Did I ever tell you about my favourite Football Manager save? I can't
don't
remember.
think he did.
I can't remember. I think I was manager of a team. I got sat, and I became manager of Serbia. I don't even think they're a country anymore, but I managed them to a European final, a World Cup semi-final, a European final. And I lost every time to the Netherlands. Every single time on penalties. Every time. I'm not one of them guys who saves and replay. Whoever did, you don't do that, do you?
No.
No, God, no,
no,
God,
no,
no.
no.
Oh, God, no. Although there's another one. I was manager of a team in India, and there was if you got relegated from the league, that was it. You were done, and you would be sacked because there's no league. And it was the last game of the season. We went into the game almost getting relegated, but we were playing the top team, and they had a ridiculous goal difference. Mind, I don't think they conceded many goals throughout the season. And we went in, and I think we had to win by 5 goals. We won by 5 goals, and the next day I was sacked.
I would probably sack you if you were flirting with relegation the entire season.
I came in. I came in. I took them to a cup final as well.
That still, I mean, they must have ambitious owners.
Fair enough.
It's a bit, it's a bit like Eddie Howe's probably going to be sacked at the end of the season because Pep Guardiola's a free agent.
I think he's just, I think he's doing a fantastic job, and we should keep him there. Dean.
Yes.
Org.
So org.
Org.
Team, you mean?
Yeah,
or...
yeah. Any interest?
I've had 2 offers in the past 6 months.
Nice.
And I have rejected both.
Nice. Okay. I think that's.
Wait, come on. You want me to join a team? You've been like, yeah. You want me to either start a team or you want to be? Come on. Come on. You can't.
I'm just interested. All right.
Okay,
I'm interested. I'm just intrigued.
I've had offers. I had one very credible offer a few months ago, and for me it wasn't the right move at the time for me. I feel like sometimes if you join a team, you can probably alienate some of your community because they are members of another team.
Oh, that's silly. That's silly.
No, it sounds silly, but it's also true. Your Fortnite community can be like that. I didn't want to become also exclusive. I wanted to be inclusive. I want everyone to take part in my like streams, my server, and all that kind of stuff. It's got to be a move that's right for me and also the team that I join. So, I wouldn't want a team to try and have an involvement with the content I'm trying to do. Like I obviously host the tournaments. I wouldn't want them to kind of. I described this the other night. It's my toy. Don't touch it. I'm like a spoiled brat when it comes to my stream. It's like,
that's fair enough. It's your business at the end of the day, and
it is. Yeah. So not to say that any of these teams were proposed they did that. I just felt it wasn't the right thing for me to do.
That's fair.
But I am open to joining a team. And hopefully give support in terms of hosting these events, but it's got to be done in the right manner,
of course,
and right for both parties.
Of course. You're not leaving Reality Sanctum. You haven't had any offers, have you?
No, I'm still here.
You haven't had any offers to join an org team. No, you're still just staying with Reality Sanctum for the foreseeable future.
I'm still
commit your future now, though.
Here.
All right.
I will. Here, I will prove my justice.
Actually,
no. Oh wait, I killed the wrong person.
No. All right. You know what? You can leave now anyway. No. Yeah. Fair. But yeah, I just want to go on record. I've had no offers. I've had.
What about you? Actually, let's turn that around and flip it on to you,
I've had no offers.
Yeah,
no
Jay.
offers have ever been on a table. Not like I don't know, tier 3 or tier 2, not of that. So I haven't had any offers. So, but I'll be up for joining org, but I just haven't had any offers. I've seen a few people recently. A. O'Brien. I've been following him since he had 0 subscribers. He's now got 247,000, and he just joined. What are they called? Zen. I can't remember. He's just joined that. We had Clark.
Can we get him on?
We had Clark Clinton here earlier. Joined Aries, big TikToker. Have you heard a Fortnite storyline video?
I've seen a few Twitch streamers join Aries recently that I know. Aries are making moves.
Yeah, I think someone else joined. I don't know. I can't remember. But yeah, I haven't. No, probably not.
What's that? Hey, did you? Whoa! Did you just XG Mr. JY confirmed?
No.
Question mark. Sorry, I forgot about the question mark.
Put it back to no question mark.
Whoa, $10 dono.
And talk about Clark. Thank you for the $10 donation. Appreciate it. Let's go. If you need another Fortnite storyline and lore content creator, that would be the guy to follow. Indeed. I'm sure you've probably seen his TikToks if you do any Fortnite. Because I saw his content long before I actually started talking. Who also does a podcast. A very good one as well. Okay. So, what's next for you? Just generally more tournaments and maybe an org, I guess, which we kind of deciphered.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be a little bit quieter over the next couple of months because, as you know, I work full time, as doing all of this in my spare time. Busy Christmas period. I think it'll start picking back up when I come towards my 4-year anniversary of streaming, which is end of January. So that's coming up. That's around the corner. So it will start picking up then. I get a bit more free time as well because I tend to book off a bit of time around February, going into that start of the year. Yeah, I've got some plans. It's continuing to do what I do. I'm enjoying the zero build aspect. I mean, we talked about it earlier, with the placements and all that kind of stuff. It's been crazy, actually. I think I'm going to continue with the zero build and playing it competitively. And it's been mental. And I wouldn't have thought in my wildest dreams that, like, when I was playing last night in the Duo Cup, finishing 29th, that I was in, like, Tifu's game 3 times. Like, yeah. Like, you tell me, Jay, like 3-4 years ago,
that would be crazy.
Would you have
you're even starting beef with pro players as well, which is I think that was
so right, okay. So I'll tell the story for. So yeah, it was Frank. So Volks_missed is his epic name. You'll see that on the leaderboard most often on Zero Build. Frank Von 1 on Twitch. Really sound guy. Followed me 6 months ago. Played offline with him a couple of times, and he was just a very respectful, really nice kid. Then Zero Build Comp came about, and all of a sudden, this kid is an absolute demon.
He clutched up yesterday near that was ridiculous. That was insane.
Honestly, he manages to pull off magic in like the most unlikeliest of ways. So anyway, one night it was off stream, so I wasn't actually streaming. So we're rotated, so we land at the Mrdeangenie split, which is the house and temple east side of the map. We rotate past the foundation. We use the foundation to rotate, and we land at gas station by Jones's. And lo and behold, the team are using the riffs over by the foundation statue. They've used the riffs, and then they land on our heads, goo-gun the living daylights out of me, and then I get shotgunned. Then I get shotgunned in a bush. And then because they've got anonymous mode on in competitive, once they've eliminated you or you've eliminated them, you see their epic name. And there I see, in front of me, you have been eliminated by Faze replays. And I was just like, oh.
So you just got gooed on by that. Wow.
Yeah. So then, he was playing with Coal Thieves, who formerly of Faze. They then proceeded to camp my card for 9 minutes. Like, Frank, bless him, was in this bush. Nothing he could have done. If he moved, he was dead. I just told him to stay in the bush, do not move. That's it. They're pro players, don't move. But I was very disappointed in them because they just camped my card on a petrol station outside of Jones's. So anyway, They then rotate. So the storm moves southeast towards like the back end of Jones's, that like area that you can loot. It's actually got loads of loot there. And
Yeah, where the Rock family were. Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So then anyway, like Frank's still alive. He's still in the game, and then he wins the game, and he ends up 1v1 in Faze replays and wins. So then 2 games later, we then do the same rotate. Mrdeangenie split, Foundation statue. But
Standard.
Yeah. This time we stayed on top of the Foundation statue. And next bit,
logical.
Go off.
Yeah.
And then a player with the same skin as Faze replays lands on top of myself and Frank, tries to kill us. We killed him, and then once we firsted him, we saw Faze replays. So may or may not have donkey laughed on him.
Yes, you're going to do that. You're going to do that. You've landed on us twice, and you lost twice.
Yeah, so they landed on us. We camped the card, and the reason why we camped the card is because they camped mine.
Yeah,
and they were kicking off a humongous stink. They're like, "Oh, they're camping the card. Oh, the stream snipers." So Faze replays went full camp for like 5 minutes, and it's just like. And I went into I went into Cold Thieves chat because, like, I've been in there loads of times, and I said to him, "I was like, mate, like, why are you getting a bee in your bonnet for? Like, you've just done the same thing to me in game 3. We're just doing the same to you in game 5. So stop losing your crap." He didn't respond. He didn't say a word. Didn't get timed out. Anything. He was acting like a bit of an idiot because he did the same thing 2 games prior.
I'll tell you what. How about after this podcast, we go into a game of Fortnite and only use goo guns?
You're good. We're good. Like we're good.
Right.
I did that once before. Got a 20 kill elimination win.
Also, I've also I've had various interactions. Like I eliminated Zemi.
Oh yeah.
One game. I've been in games where I hit 220 damage on scoped on Middle East, and the team on the top of the hill got 1 AR tag on him and eliminated him. I was so annoyed. I was like, brilliant, fantastic. But I've come across various pros and like unnamed, not as popular pros as like T-Field and that. But I've come across a lot of pros.
Of course, I saw didn't Bags and Thingy eliminate Zemi and T-Field in one game.
They did, yes, they did. Yeah.
I mean, Bags have been. I know he's moved over to Overwatch and he's popping off in that, and he's streaming again, which is great to see. But he obviously, took Fortnite 0 builds. What did he finish 5th? Didn't he?
6 on a quick cup. The first time he played with Frank, yeah.
Okay. Oh, it was Frank again. Okay.
It was Frank. Yeah, Frank is, like I said, he's one of the best in.
Yeah, I always forget because
he's
got a different epic name, so I always forget which one it is. Still mad. Okay. All right. This is a game in development, so it's a probably a bit scuffed. I'm not gonna lie. If you change again. If you change again.
This is for a special member in the chat.
Dean?
Sorry, so I was tabbing back in.
No, it was contestants through here. Or Dean through there. I think that's right. Yes, that's perfect. That's perfect. Right, this is a sort of like a hexagon maze, I assume. You just need to make it to the other side. Wait, before we go through, there's a spawn. Confirm your.
Hit the spawn
don't
thing.
So you don't go back to the.
Come on, hit the spawn thing.
Yeah, hit the spawn thing. Have you hit it in?
Come here.
Yeah.
Hit, so you don't go all the way back to the beginning. So basically, you've got to get through to the other end. I was actually going to have.
Where's my jetpack?
No, you don't. You shouldn't.
No,
I was going to get because what usually happens in this game, you have a hunter, but I just want to see how it plays out without a hunter. If I'm being honest, so.
Okay, all right. So. Am I starting?
Yeah, start.
Yeah,
try and make it to the other end. No time. Just but it does it first time, and I'll be so disappointed. It's going well. He's actually going pretty well. He's going pretty well.
Don't get too ahead of yourself.
Oh yeah, I mean he's actually going really well. Oh.
Oh.
Ooh.
That threw me. That threw me.
Right. That's just the way out. I'm going to confirm. That's just
Is that the way out?
No, behind you. No, the other way. No, the other way.
Stop helping him.
Oh, wait, he was going out. No, I had to help him. Yeah, go through. You don't have to bait that one. You gotta bait that one. Bait that one there. The other door to your left. He's destroyed it. It's cheating. Just bait that one. Yeah, where you at? There you go. Bait it.
I can't see any of this.
I can't bait it. Won't let me bait it.
Okay, as I said, this is in testing mode. You on the right path there, but you might have to go back through there and pick another door, Dean.
Jay,
go back to that trap. Go back to that trap and go through. You're gonna have to run through the door on your left. Oh, it's just. Ooh, maybe. Ooh.
Help me out here.
Yeah, just go. Yeah. Yep.
All right.
That was not bad.
That was stressful. I'm back in the studio.
Oh,
Over to you.
over to me.
Jay,
That was
you wanna-
amazing.
Yeah.
All right.
Here, I'll do a quick speed run of this. Watch.
All right, the doors don't. The door. Okay. Let's see how he goes. So we're going to go through other one and pick a pack up. Oh! I forgot about this shield.
Yeah. I could just
Yeah,
damage
no.
this.
Okay, we might have to fix that. Oh no, we need the shield for the 1v1, and then not
You
need.
can just make it 150 shield.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't change
I might
much.
have to do that. That's a good shout. That's a good shout. I can
Yes, it
back to
is.
studio if you can work out how to get back here. Chat, thanks for being here. Appreciate all the donos, Clark, Anstey, Lit as well, obviously co-host today. And Cheeky as well. Oh, and he's drinking on a job. Oh my god. All right. Final question of the night, as we almost touched on it in there, but I wanted to get that out of the way. Maybe the final question. I don't know. We might lead on to a few other things, but it's looking like a final question. Mr. didnt, Fortnite World Cup. If there's another one, and they had to pick between builds and zero builds, which I think they personally will have to do because it's going to be packed otherwise. What do you think they should pick? I probably know the answer.
If they had to pick one.
Yes, because I think they're going to have to. Because either they do two, and it's you only pick, like, if you do builds and do trios and do no build and do trios again, you're going to have to do one day, because how they work the tournament it's a pro am at first day in it, and second is creative. So the last day they will only be able to do one unless they extend it another day.
No, they could do two, Jay.
You think?
Yeah, so you want to do like an event. So you want it 3 days: Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
You want the Friday to be the introduction, like everyone's been introduced. You do the pro-am on the Friday, where they do 3 rounds of builds, 3 rounds of zero builds. Pro-am, there you go. That's the Friday. Thank you very much. Come and join us tomorrow. We're going to do zero build solos, and that's going to be 6 games. And then they wrap that up, and then duos wrap that up. And then you end with the builds. It's a no-brainer. You could do both. They did solos, they did duos, because they didn't have that many playlists back in the day when the World Cup first came about. There's so many playlists now. You can even have like a pro-am and a creative, like.
Well, we had that last time. I think Loser Fruit team won it. They had a creative day and they had money online. Phase replays. Not phase replays.
Do all of that.
Phase...
Do all that. Scissors.
Scissors.
Yeah, you do all that on a Friday, and then Saturday's the zero build day, and then don't have to do trios and squads. I think that can get a little. I don't think it's very enjoyable, trios and squads, personally. I think nothing better than watching like solos and duos.
I don't know if solos. I don't know if solos zero builds would excite me. Like, I like the interaction between the teams. You can see them sort of working together. I feel like solo zero builds we just plays like can, which it generally would be anyway, but I feel like they probably should do like maybe a duos, trios, and then I don't know, maybe obviously then do builds, but it depends about scheduling. I can't think how they did it last time. They did pro am, then they did a creative on day 2, and then they did the duos and solos of builds.
Absolutely.
So I don't know. I think I probably would do 2 events, but maybe they would pick, I guess, generally whichever one they felt like was.
I don't think they'll ever do a World Cup again.
Yeah, that's probably dead.
I think that's it's dead in the water. They had to go big, didn't they? When Fortnite took the world by storm. It wasn't just like one country; they took the world by storm.
Of course.
And when they were getting as much engagement and interactions as they were during the World Cup, before the World Cup, should I say, that was when they looked like, let's make the biggest prize pool they've ever done in gaming history. I said, and it's a controversial comment here, I've said this and I'm going to maintain this. Two things, creative and the World Cup itself probably killed Fortnite.
Well, I don't know. I don't. Well, in terms of splitting player bases and making multiple games, I guess you've got a point. But obviously, we got Creative 2.0 around the corner, which you can have modding and stuff, and I think that will dramatically improve Fortnite's chances of a longer longevity than if they have.
I think the reason why I would say creative started to kind of kill the game a bit because it accelerated everyone's abilities at the game.
In that respect, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, and then when you've incorporated a World Cup, Fortnite has the most young and impressionable audience than any other game out there. Every single teenage boy wanted to be the next Booger. They took every game like it was the World Cup.
Yeah,
it just got insanely sweaty. And that's what pushed a lot of the casual content creators away. That's pushed a lot of the casual player base away. Then they brought in skill-based matchmaking, which the idea I still don't really know how they do skill-based matchmaking. I don't know what they judge it off.
I don't really know how they do it.
But the first couple of seasons in Chapter 2, there was an insane amount of bots, and I was like, how is anyone meant to get better with this? No, how am I at the time 33-year-old guy who is okay at the game is meant to get any better when there is literally just an AI walking 100 meters away from me in a straight line holding a shotgun out and shooting? How am I meant to get better?
They've definitely developed the bots now. So
100%. They're a little bit more feisty now. I mean, I've been sniped out the air by one.
Oh, they're crap. They're insane. Some of them are insane.
Dude, I was in a fight with a bot once. I got too cocky and I got absolutely... I have never been beamed harder in my life than I got beamed by a bot.
They're all on controller, aren't they? So,
the computer AI is using a controller. Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, absolutely. Like aim assist is broken. I mean, we all know that it takes
I don't think we're on the same page.
Before you go off on a tangent about controllers, what do you feel about a zero build or a build World Cup? Do you think they should choose, or do you? I don't know. If you had to choose one for a World Cup, what would you?
I have a silly, funky idea. I want it to start off with literally only build mode. All right, everything is build mode. Everyone just has to do build mode.
Mm-hmm.
But in the grand finale, it switches to no build.
Oh, like a stages.
Joe, it's amazing.
No,
actually,
just at the end, it switches to no build.
Well, like in the zone, just halfway through the game, just you know what? That might not be a bad idea.
I've got an incredible idea. So, start it in pubs. Basically, Mr. J, you'll like this, and I think you'd make a TikTok, YouTube video, and everything, and I think it would change the game forever. Why not have
Forever.
a reality remote? It's a mythic item.
Yeah.
Mythic item. Mythic item. I just want to see how many times he says item.
Yeah, mate. If you're there for a while, just carry on, please.
So that it's a mythic item. It's probably 1 or 2 on the map. You flick the button, it changes the modes from builds to 0 builds.
Oh, yeah, what? That's not a bad shout.
And it's called a reality remote.
I kind of like that.
No, even better. It switches it to just straight up different LTMs. All right.
Oh yeah. Don't stop there. Yeah.
It will switch all your weapons to gold or all into explosives. Suddenly, the floor is lava.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea. I mean, we got the Battle
But,
Royale
like,
map. I mean, it's very limited at
Well-
the moment. It's very, very limited.
Actually, I think I could think of an idea to where that would work. You would have to fight like some new god of reality or whatever the heck they're going to introduce into Fortnite. And they'll drop a reality remote that recharges every 5 minutes. But it will, like, everybody in a 100-meter radius, whenever you activate it, will change into a different type of LTN. So you could get
like
very-
Season X bubbles. That sort of thing. Yeah,
you
okay.
can- You can get like very unlucky and get like solid gold to where you're giving not only yourself solid gold items but also your enemy.
Oh, okay, I see what you're
Or
saying.
you can get very lucky and just give yourself like unvaulted stuff.
Okay, not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Question. I think we pretty much. You didn't say 0 build or builds for World Cup. Well, if you had to pick one, just
Builds. Because if you want to be in the World Cup, then I feel like you have to know how to build. Right?
fair. Okay, that's fair. Dean, have you really had to pick one?
I think 0 build. Just while I'm so into it myself, and I'll probably start like I'd probably stand a little bit of a chance to maybe give it a go like myself. So
I mean, I probably would agree with you on probably a 0 build World Cup. And they're going to have to pick the game modes, which they might not have to.
You trembling.
Dean, what's limited, or you know a bit about the Fortnite story? What is your favourite moment in like event wise or storyline wise? What is your favourite moment?
Season X, hands down.
Chapter.
The end event is the best event they've ever done, and I don't think it's up for discussion.
Oh, I didn't get in.
I didn't get in either, but my housemate, my
I
old
didn't
housemate
play in
Peanut-
Season X, so it doesn't matter.
so like I was there. So Jay, you must remember this. You were with. I think we were all streaming the same time. It was when you were on Twitch.
I don't know how to stream it. I don't think I streamed it. I meant to record
GBC
it.
Sue.
Yeah.
Myself, Peanut, and Jigs were all together. Then we all went out. I went in solo. Peanut managed to get in, and he was in the room next to me. I didn't, so I was still live, and I just went into Peanut's room to see the event. So I did see it, but I was watching it from Peanut's perspective. And then when I came back into my room, that's when obviously like I was in the black hole, because like if you couldn't get in and you're in the lobby, it sucked you into the black hole.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Season X, hands down, undisputed, best event ever.
Sound. Right, guys. Thank you for joining me for this one. It's actually been a long one, an hour and 51 minutes.
Yeah, not bad.
That's not bad. That's not bad. Lit, thanks for joining me as always. Dean as well. Thanks for joining me.
No problem at all. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's been lovely to meet you, and
It was great to meet you too.
I don't know if we're going to play some games afterwards, but I'm going to obviously put this as a solo sort of video and solo stream. So if you want to watch it on repeat, you can do, and I will timestamp it at a later date, and then you can watch segments of it, I guess. But that's the Reality Sanctum podcast for this week over, and I guess we'll be back in 2 weeks, maybe.
Do you have any last words?
Hey, mate.
Do you want to finish up? Last words?
Make sure to.
You know, it doesn't matter.
Make sure to ring that bell.
Yes.
It doesn't matter for you either.
Ring that bell.
Yes, ring that bell.
If I know, I've seen the chat, like I've seen a couple of people hop in. Make sure you click that subscribe button.
Subscribe.
Support Mr. J. Makes fantastic content.
Thank you very much.
I always say it every time he pops in my end,
And I do it too.
And not lit.
I'm the Mr. Meeseeks
He
guy.
does it. Make a channel first, and then we will do. Anyway, it's been your boy, Mr. JOY. Till next time, bye bye.